Okay, so we are all set. We are on Facebook Live. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Happy Easter, first of all. I'm enjoying my spring here by a lakeside resort. I'm having fun with my kids. My kids are doing kayaking here. So, having a lot of fun and having a good Easter, and I hope you're all having a good Easter as well. I have with me here Shianti, who is one of our, who is actually the first customer for YogiFi, and I'm so glad that she is with us here today on special Easter weekend. Thank you so much for joining us live, Shianti. Cool.
Hello.
So let's start with your introduction, Shianti.
Well, thank you for letting me participate and inviting me to participate in the program and learning about the system. Actually, it's something that I have become really invested in, and my sister actually got me uh, started with, and I'm actually just excited to see the company grow and see how it spreads and is incorporated into everyone's life coming into the future.
Absolutely, and that's our vision as well. And I'm glad that you're definitely out there and looking out for us. So, tell me about your yoga journey. I know your sister, she was like really passionate in getting this gift for you. It's very sweet of her. And she said, this product is going to make her feel that I really care for her. And how did you feel when you received this gift?
Well, so when I started, I am a combat veteran. So I started doing yoga as a part of my recovery process as a means of rehab for my injuries and to work on my vestibular issues, my GI, some of my other impairments, and through that, it's become all the other aspects of yoga, not just the physical aspects, started to introduce themselves into my life. And it just didn't become a part of just the asanas, didn't become a part of my life, but every part of yoga became a part of my life. And the mantras, the spirituality, the ideas behind yoga lifestyle. So with her being aware of that, she wanted to engage me in that way because if people bring a certain energy around me, I tend to detach and isolate. So with her wanting to bring a yoga mat or try to be more informed and connected with me, uh, that was her way of showing me, even though she may not want to participate in doing yoga with me, because I'm constantly asking her and my family to do yoga with me, and they're like, no. um, but that was her way of showing me that there is love and courtesy for what is something that has helped me as I grow and evolve in my life and lifestyle.
It's very sweet. Nice. Thank you so much for sharing those details. That actually, I'm pretty sure that many of them would share that kind of an experience. And even me, I have practiced yoga since like my childhood, like literally since I was 3 years old. And I have constantly tried to bring yoga into my family, my kids, and my husband, but I was not successful. And once I got the YogiFi mat, it actually made quite a difference. My kids started first because it's like, waiting for the green light, red light became quite a game for them on how many asanas each of them got right. They compared their scores, and then eventually my husband got into it as well. He's been into meditation since the beginning, but then he eventually got into the yoga aspect as well. So that's great. Now let's mainly getting your perspective on YogiFi mat. How has your journey with the YogiFi mat been? I said people who have joined us on Facebook Live.
I'm not sure what you said, but I'm going to assume you said how it may help other people connect with the YogiFi mat.
I said, can you hear me now? Was that minor connection issue there? I was saying that people would love to hear your perspective on the YogiFi.
I like the fact that you're able to include a piece of AI, so people that a person in real life can learn how to correct.
Okay, I'm so sorry there. We realized that there was a disconnect on Facebook Live, but we are live again, Shanti, and we can continue our discussion. So,
hopefully I can stay because I just realized that I have an appointment.
Yeah. 10 minutes is okay with you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, we'll wrap it up in 10 minutes. So I think you were actually talking about how some people feel very vulnerable in a yoga studio when they're doing their yoga postures, especially the ones that have some bends, and how especially men feel awkward. That was an interesting aspect.
Absolutely. I mean, you ask people to do things that they wouldn't normally do in public, to go into positions, especially if someone's new to yoga. You're asking people to spread their legs and bend over, and you're having maybe men be behind women and bend over, and you're there. If it's a full class, they're super close to each other, barely have space, and then people are sweating. And it's a very uncomfortable situation for people that may not be familiar with the yoga experience, and they're not comfortable or confident enough to participate in that type of environment. So if you give them the YogiFi experience, they're able to comfortably experience yoga at home and not feel as vulnerable and unsafe.
And Ben, getting into
these positions, and expose themselves in ways that they don't feel are uncomfortable. For me, I don't find it. For me, it's just a part of being in class, and it's I go into my asanas and I internalize, and the rest of the world doesn't tend to exist. But for a new yogi, everything else exists, and you're seeing everyone else. It's someone you may not even know what something is, so you look to your next person. So you're constantly familiar with everything else that's going on. So if you have a YogiFi, you're able to look to your AI to connect and see what you're supposed to be doing, or listen for the voice cues to put you in the position and hear if you're doing it right, because it's going to give you voice cues. And then you have the lights to tell you whether you're there in the right position. So there's a lot of things to bring a new yogi into yoga and build their confidence. So I think it's a powerful experience and opportunity.
Thank you. Given your background in yoga and your specialization, I believe you also I think you also believe that yoga has to be done only the right way, right?
I don't think that only the right way. I think that there is an importance in putting yourself into yoga positions and holding them appropriately so that you don't hurt yourself functionally and don't cause more harm than you do in what you are trying to build in your journey toward becoming a more functional and creative and positive yogi. So if you aren't engaging your core, you're not engaging your bandhas, your hands, your feet, you can wrench your neck, you can hyperextend your knees, you can injure your lower back, and you can put a lot of stress on your body in different positions that aren't intended for your practice. So if you are aware of and are conscious of your drishti, or where your eyes should be looking, or where your hands should be placed, or where your elbows should be, where your feet should be, then you're more conscious in your practice. And with YogiFi calling those things out and letting you know where your foot placement should be, how much pressure should be placed there, you're conscious of what your form should be like in order to not hurt yourself and end up in physical therapy because you hurt yourself on your mat because you weren't functionally participating in your practice. In a way that would prevent injury. So I would say not the right way, but I would say in a way that would prevent injury.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you also mentioned that yoga has helped you in your wellness journey. And what happened when you were in the military that you resorted to yoga?
Yoga has helped me in my journey because I was injured overseas as a combat veteran, and I was not walking, I was not engaging with people, and felt very isolated. So what I did as to as part of my recovery process was to participate in yoga to work on my vestibular. And there are a lot of movements that assist in a lot of what physical therapy would do, but it wasn't really working for me because it wasn't something that I could integrate into my life and my lifestyle. And I couldn't engage with it. So with that, I was able to incorporate the mantras of yoga and the lifestyle, the belief systems, and the physicality of it. And it has brought me to where I am and has built an evolution and has become a part of my journey towards a better life and thought process and healing process.
Mm-hmm.
So it's and recognizing that I have an end goal, but it's a journey towards that end goal. And through that, I don't have to be perfect, but imperfection isn't what I have to be. It's being able to get on the mat each day or participate in it and allow myself to accept myself for who I am at that moment and do what I can as part of my practice.
Mm-hmm.
Continue on my journey toward my goals.
I think there are a couple of other, probably many customers actually have resorted to yoga as because of some personal experience, and that became their part of their life very soon. And YogiFi is, given this COVID situation, YogiFi is definitely helping them continue that practice. You know how yoga studios got shut down and it became quite difficult to have that continuous yoga practice, but YogiFi has been trying to bridge that gap given the COVID situation. I mean, not only just for the COVID situation, but as your teacher and we are very eager to launch your program as well soon. YogiFi has been trying to let a teacher come on board and reach students beyond their physical limitation, right? And how are you excited about that? What has your experience been?
Well, because yoga has a particular image, a particular vision, a particular idea of what yoga, maybe a teacher looks like, what a student looks like, and or what yoga is in general. And I like the idea that YogiFi is yoga for everybody. Everybody can participate, and it's for everybody. And I want that stereotypical vision from the 70s to just be washed away, that people like me are out there that truly believe in what yoga can do for you, and that we can engage with you, we can build a practice with you, we can build a vision with you, and we may not look like what you anticipate a teacher looks like, but in what the Western culture has prescribed or identified. But we're here and we're competent, we're capable, we're excited, and we envision yoga to encapsulate everyone, to encapsulate people that you don't have to look a certain way to walk into a yoga class. You don't, if you aren't a certain size, a certain shape, a certain look, a certain capability, or you feel like you have a certain limitation, you're a certain age, you identify a certain way, that has nothing to do with yoga.
Yeah.
Yoga is for you regardless. And for me as a teacher, I want people to see me and see themselves and see that they can participate and they can.
Okay, sorry about that. It looks like as in when a speedboat goes by in the background, I'm probably losing connection here for some reason. So,
Okay.
so last question for you for today. How do you rate yoga against, as a combat veteran, I'm pretty sure you would have done like a lot of strenuous physical workout and exercises. And how do you rate yoga against that?
Okay, so that is an interesting but difficult question because I think people underestimate yoga and their view of yoga because there are different styles. There's a lack of awareness of how many muscles you have to engage when you are functionally doing yoga, when you're engaging. And so I would say that it can be like a combination between a calisthenics workout and a cardio workout at the same time, because you are lifting your body weight and you're also having to hold positions, and your body is recognizing that as in moving to oxygenate your body and your muscles. So it's recognizing it as a cardio kind of function because it's moving the blood flow through your body. And right now it's mostly a hatha based on YogiFi. So I would say that it's an amazing workout when you're doing yoga, but it will sneak up on you. It sneaks up on you. Is what I would say. Most people go into a class and they know what to expect, but if you go into a yoga class, most people don't know what to expect, and they get halfway through it and they are like, oh my goodness, I did not expect this. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get through.
And that is,
but since YogiFi is only 25 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes, you don't have that problem. It's only when you go to these hour-long classes that you have that issue, and that's why the programs are shorter with YogiFi, because with beginners, that's why there's that kind of that shock to your system.
mm-hmm.
But you're not going to have that problem with YogiFi. You're going to be able to build up, and you're going to be able to get yourself engaged and have more of an awareness of what to anticipate and what to expect. So I would say that it sneaks up on you, but it's an amazing workout, and I'm just excited for people to be more people of different bodies, different lifestyles, different mindsets to engage with the product and the AI to incorporate it into their lives.
Thank you, Shriyanti. And I will let you go. I know you said you had an appointment, and thank you for extending your stay with us today. I apologize for the inconvenience again. So
I have a little puppy. One of my dog had puppies, and a friend wants to come by and pick up the puppy.
I see.
So I have to, and the puppy's been rolling around in the dirt. So I have to wash him.
Oh, okay.
Before I get back.
All right, so I'll let you get back to it. And thank you so much again for sharing your perspective on YogiFi today with us. And, if there are any comments from people who are viewing this interview, definitely post it on the video, and Shanti or myself will get to those questions and help clarify them. Thank you, everyone. Bye.